Hello everyone, my name is Allison and welcome to my channel. This is Infinite Spirit Inward Spiral. Um, I'm just going to kind of natter on a little bit of therapeutic chit chat, just trying to figure out what's going on in my life and how to cope with everything that's going on in the world. You know, the world is changing unbelievably rapidly. It's overwhelming. And I guess that's part of what I'm going through right now, is that I feel overwhelmed by a lot of things. A little bit of background, I'm currently living back and forth between Meadow Lake, Saskatchewan and Saskatoon. I'm actually originally from Saskatoon. I've kind of sort of ended up here during COVID, because I was looking for work and I couldn't find work, and just on a lark, I applied for a job here in Meadow Lake and of course got it. Who would have thought of that, right? And of course, fortunately, I had a boyfriend at the time who lives up here, and so I had no intentions of moving at all, but this is where I seem to have ended up, out here with my boyfriend Glenn. We prefer to refer to him as my partner. We're not married. It's more of, I guess it'd be more of like a common law situation maybe, but part of it is that I currently don't have a traditional job. I was working for a local grocery store in here in Meadow Lake for about 3.5 years, and I finally gave that up in 2024 because our market garden was expanding, and I'm not sure what Glenn was expecting of me to do, but he seemed to think I should be working 24/7 to go from being on my feet all day long on concrete, to spend another 7 or 8 hours in the garden. That just wasn't working for me. I just said, no, I can't do this. So I let the grocery store job go, because I just couldn't cope with everything that needed to be done. And if I hadn't have done that, we would not have had harvested hardly anything that year. So here I am. I'm still not working a regular job. In a way it's nice, but in a way it also sucks, because I have no income of my own, which is part of, I think, my stress, and where I feel overwhelmed, because I feel like I've gone from, barely managing myself when I was working, to basically just being I'm completely codependent now on Glenn for everything, which I don't like. I find it stressful some days it's okay. But moving up here has meant that I've had to give up a lot of stuff. I've lost my community that I belong to. Like I have no, I was active with the pagan community in Saskatoon, and I have no connections at all with them right now. And I think I've got 2 friends left that I'm still in touch with in Saskatoon. Yeah, it's kind of sad. Like, I still have my house in Saskatoon, and Glenn's oldest child is currently living in it. And so I do try to go back. I've been trying to go back every week, but it's been almost a month since I've been home, because due to weather and a number of things going on, I haven't been able to make the 3-hour drive. So it is a long drive. It's 3 hours from Meadow Lake to Saskatoon, so it's not like a quick jaunt. It's, a round trip is like a full day if I don't stay overnight. But usually I stay overnight, because most of my personal items are in Saskatoon. Glenn only really gave me room, a couple of drawers in the vanity, because we had a cat that was peeing on stuff. So up until that point, I was just living out of a suitcase or carpet bag, and of course the cat peed on it, and that we couldn't do that anymore. So, but all of that aside, I lately with all this, everything that's current, all the current affairs, I just I feel lost. I feel like I have no connection. I've lost my sense of spirituality. Like I have no spiritual community whatsoever anymore that I can connect with or talk to or do anything with. I have one friend that I still get together with once a month for a meditation, but that's it. And I know this past winter these last 2 months have been hard. January and February always hit me hard in terms of seasonal depression, but this year seemed to be harder than usual for some reason, even though I wasn't alone. Like I was out here with Glenn, or if I was in Saskatoon, I would hang out with my sister. But I just found it hard, really hard. Like, I feel like I reached a point where I told the angels or whoever's listening, no, I give up. I surrender. I give up. Like, I'm done. I don't want to be on the planet anymore. I'm done. Like what the hell's the point? I mean, honestly, I feel like I've had to completely let go of everything that I thought that I knew and believed in terms of spirituality, and because there's so much crap, so much I don't know what you want to call it. Like there's different opinions and views and experiences, and you don't know who's right or who's wrong. But then, with what 8 billion people on the planet, one point of view isn't going to resonate with everyone. So, but I've just become so confused and so disenfranchised that I've basically I've wiped the slate clean in terms of what I believe in. I'm starting from scratch. I feel like the traditional image of the fool card in tarot with the person about to walk off the cliff. Well, because they're looking up and away. Well, I'm not looking up and away. I'm standing on the edge of the cliff looking down into the abyss, wondering, do I jump? Do I not jump? Like, what do I do here? Like, that's kind of where I feel like I'm at this point. And there are just days where my brain is just I have such horrible brain fog. And I know when I get depressed and anxiety and I get overtired, I start to get very absent-minded and forgetful. And I know Glenn gets mad at me for that, but he doesn't get it. He doesn't understand what I'm going through. Even though I've tried to talk to him about it, he doesn't. He just says, "Well, make a list. Write it down, make a list." It doesn't help. That's not helpful. And part of, like, today, part of why I'm feeling so wonky, because I didn't sleep at night last night, because I was up twice cleaning up cat puke, because Glenn didn't hear it. So I heard it, and if I just laid there and left it, Glenn would have stepped in it when he got up to go to the bathroom. But then, like, I rarely sleep well at night, though. I've always been like that. I've always been a very light sleeper. Even in high school, I would toss and turn all night and then fall asleep maybe a couple hours before the alarm went off. So I was always struggling with a lack of sleep. And even now, it's the same. It takes me a long time to fall asleep. And then, of course, I go to bed early, and Glenn, he wanders down at, midnight or 1 a.m. And then, of course, that wakes me up, turns the light on and wakes me up. And then I have a hell of a time falling asleep again. I've told him this. He knows I don't sleep well at night. I'm a light sleeper, and he seems to think I should be able to just nod off like that, like he does. He often complains that I'm lazy, which, yeah, I am lazy a little bit. But he always complains that I'm not doing enough. Well, all the tasks that he's doing right now, I can't help him with. You know, he's right now he's entering all the receipts, posting all the receipts and bills and whatever for the farm. Well, I can't help him with that. I don't want to do that. He hasn't bothered to show me how to do that aspect of the farm. So I feel frustrated because I am dependent upon him now for everything, including my income, even though I have no income. Every time I ask him for money, he gets mad. I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? You know, I still have bills to pay on my house. I mean, yes, his oldest child is living there, but they're not paying enough in rent. Like, I wanted more rent, but his oldest child just kind of complaining and said he couldn't afford it. And then even this month now, he only paid half of what he is supposed to pay, because I know he's been on and off work because of a hernia, which is fine. I'm trying to be understanding about that, but I feel like I'm stuck and I'm trapped, and I can't, I feel like I've got a blindfold on that I'm struggling to remove it because I can't see what I'm doing. And yeah, and I want to have my own income, but I don't know where that would come from, or what I would do for that, because just the thought of having to go back to a traditional job makes me physically ill, and would probably lead me to some self-harm if I had to do that. So I'm stuck. You know, I'm sure that you're all just telling me to go and just to suck it up and get a job, which I should do, but the minute I sit down at the computer to look for work, I feel sick. And you know, I've lost track of the number of jobs that I have applied for, and I've gotten maybe one call back. I've applied for hundreds of jobs. So even if I do apply for stuff, I'm not getting callbacks. I'm not getting interviews. So I've basically at this point given up, and I'm trying to figure out another option to generate some income. I'm not sure what that is, what that'll be. I keep asking for help. I keep asking for guidance from spirit, from my angels, and I feel like I'm getting absolutely nothing, no guidance. Or if I do feel like I receive an idea, what I think is a brilliant idea, and it ends up nowhere, going nowhere, or if I do try to pursue it, I end up farther in the hole than when I started. So, and this is where I am at. This is where I feel so disenfranchised and fed up and just done, just completely done with existence on this planet. I just want to be done. That's where I'm at. I've been trying to pay attention to the whole ascension thing, which I'm totally on board with, and I know I've had my own awakening, my own ascension happened years ago. Oh, ages ago, actually. I had an experience where I was going to bed one night, and as I drifted off, my conscious awareness literally just opened right up, and I was aware of absolutely everything. It was like having 360-degree vision. I could see everything. I knew everything, and I knew at that point that time was an illusion, that linear time doesn't really exist. And it was the most amazing feeling. And I don't know how many years ago that was, but I didn't realize that was my own awakening at that point. I didn't realize that until maybe a couple years ago, that's what that experience was. But anyway, it has not made life any better. I can tell you that right now. I guess I'm just hoping for some feedback, and I gotta go because Glenn's alarm has gone off, and I don't want him to hear me talking. Okay, so just a very, very quick conclusion. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for listening to me. I appreciate you. Do check out my sister page, which I'll put the link in the video description for. It's Green Goddess Plant Seeds and Stitching. I also have a Buy Me a Coffee link and social media pages. Please check those out if you want to. I hope you're having a great day and a great weekend, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Bye for now.